Hi people, how you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's Sandra here and I'm back again with a video of Charlie Kirk, which says Charlie Kirk bronze rings around Trump haters. Okay, Trump haters really amuse me, to be honest, because they don't really have like a sensible reason why they hate him. It's always just based off on some content that they watched and based off of some people's belief and some people's perception. It's just not enough. Okay, it's not enough. But we're gonna be getting into this day, and without no further ado, people, let's hop right into the video.
But I do want to thank you for coming and speaking with us, because I don't agree with people trying to silence you from speaking. I don't think that's right. So thank you for coming and speaking with us. I don't really understand this idea that President Trump is anti-establishment, because I think his record shows that he's actually really establishment. So just a couple examples, like he took Barack Obama's drone strikes, which had a 90% civilian casualty rate, and it was a bunch of war crimes that Barack Obama committed with that, killed innocent civilians and everything. Trump took that and he increased Obama's drone strikes by 432%. And even his first raid as president, the raid in Yemen killed an 8-year-old American girl. And like another example, he filled his cabinet with like war hawks like John Bolton, who's never met a war he didn't like.
That's true.
Swampy people like Alexander Acosta, who he was literally the guy that like brokered the sweetheart deal for Jeffrey Epstein. So I don't get and even his voting record, like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they voted with him like 78% of the time. Liz Cheney voted 90%.
Thanks for being here. Let me challenge you, because there's a pretty obvious point here. If he was, if he was not anti-establishment, why does the establishment try to put him in prison for 500 years?
So, hold
on a second.
Yeah.
And by the way, on this drone thing, yeah, he might have continued drone programs. Did he not try to end the Afghan war? In fact, he was the only one in the room trying to end the war in Afghanistan. And finally, if he was pro-establishment, how many new wars were started under Donald Trump?
Well, so for the establishment trying to lock him up, I do think there's legitimate crimes there. We can disagree on that, but I do agree that the establishment.
We're definitely going to disagree on that.
I do agree that the establishment it is a politically motivated thing, because I think if he decided not to run, they wouldn't be going after him. So I do think it's political, but I don't think it changes the fact that those are legitimate crimes. But I don't think the establishment is scared of his how he would govern. What the establishment hates more about Donald Trump is that whenever he's running for president, he exposes the corruption in the establishment, and he has a way of making it seem like he's not part of them while playing the game while governing. So I don't think they're so scared of his
so let's
record.
talk about 3 policy issues.
Yes.
What is the establishment regime position on trade?
The establishment?
Unlimited amount of trade, foreign products coming in, free trade. What was Trump's position? Tariffs on China, right? Renegotiating NAFTA. What is the establishment position on global type contracts? For example, Paris Peace Treaty. Trump got out of it, right? Blew up all this stuff at the UN. How about another issue? Immigration. What is the regime standard position on immigration? Invade the world, invite the world, as many people as possible. Trump put a travel ban on from China and had a terror watch list ban for any country in the Middle East. So I could go position by position, not to mention, look at Trump fired Comey. Yeah, you agree with that one.
Yeah, but
what kind of establishment guy fires the head of the FBI and then has to experience a 2-year investigation launched by Mueller, which was complete lies?
I think that investigation was BS too, but he put in Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray right now was protecting the Biden administration.
Fair enough. So that's a fair point.
He puts in establishment people.
So your argument is purely on personnel. And let me just say this. Donald Trump, as Rush Limbaugh would say, selects personnel that is perplexing at times. But what I think you will agree with is that his instincts and many of his major policy actions were generationally and transformationally against the regime establishment of the last 40 years in both political parties. Whether it be war, immigration, trade, international type agreements. And understand, he was the only one that was fighting, and these people would come in and they'd lie to him. I'm going to be an FBI director with this. And he will be the first one to say, should have handled Fauci differently, should have handled Birx differently. But you know what? If you want to see Donald Trump unleashed, wait for term 2 Donald Trump to be able to go after the administrative state. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. That was a constructive conversation. Thank you.
to Donald Trump. And I think that's what we're doing right now because he is on state. To be honest, like sometimes when I see people who hate Trump, I'm just like, why? Okay, I genuinely ask why with a very, very sincere hope of getting something tangible, which is always met with disappointment because they actually do not have a lot of things tangible to say. And people who like do not support Trump tend to also hate people who support Trump. And that's actually very, very low in my opinion. But the thing that I feel like they are losing on is the fact that these people support Trump doesn't mean that they support everything he does or meaning that they do not know or ignore his bad or negative side. Like we all know Trump, okay? You're gonna just pick and choose, pick your devil because amongst the lineup, I'm not seeing anyone who can give them a better opportunity than Trump, to be honest. And I feel like they just want this level of freedom where it's going to take the world to another universe, and Trump is going to curtail that. Trump is going to handle a whole lot of things. Like I don't know how someone is like I don't know what you're thinking or where you're researching that you would much rather go with Biden or Kamala Harris rather than Trump. Why? What is your reason going to be? To be honest, what is the reason going to be? But I must really give it to this young man because trust me, I've gotten into a bunch of Charlie Kirk's videos with these college kids, and not only are they so clueless, dangerously clueless, might I add, they are very, very disrespectful. But he actually had some points. Like he had a starting point. He has a starting healthy surface knowledge of what he is speaking about. So I'm definitely gonna give it to him. And I actually heard Charlie said, "Let me challenge you." Not often do Charlie challenge people. You know, most of these kids, he's actually schooling them or he's scolding them, to be honest. But this person, he said, "Let me challenge you," and that's actually a first. Okay, so definitely gonna give some credits to the young man. You know, he did stand his ground and did an awesome job to some extent, and I feel like he's gonna be very open-minded to go do his research and know what he actually stands for. I'm just here wondering if he voted for Trump this time or voted for Kamala Harris, but nonetheless, that's just by the way. We've come to the very end of today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really hope you guys had a good one. Do also give the video a big thumbs up if you did. Hit that subscribe button and the like button as well. So that you'll be notified of little amazing content that I put out all the time. So up on to the very next one, people. Let's keep on staying safe and healthy. So bye.